Hi, okay, so today I want to talk about the need to talk about your symptoms and why you need to talk about your symptoms and how that perpetuates your symptoms. So, whether your symptoms are, migraines, whether your symptoms are chronic fatigue, whether your symptoms are nerve pain burning, whether your symptoms are pain, whether your symptoms are pulling, pushing, straining, whatever it is, whatever symptom it is that causes you so much stress and pain that you feel like you just can't take it anymore and you need to talk about it. So I know from experience, have you ever, and I have done this, thought to yourself, I'm not going to talk about my symptoms today. I'm just not. And then it's become so hard not to talk about them that you end up talking about them. So I want you to really think about this for a minute. And instead of talking about your symptoms, like, oh, my headache, oh, my eyes, oh, my back, oh, my face, oh, my legs, oh, my arms, oh, my, whatever it is that hurts, whatever it is that's the problem, instead of focusing on that, if you feel the need to talk about your symptoms, I want you to first recognize that you have a desire, that you need to say something. And it's probably not to everybody you see. It's probably not to acquaintances. It's probably not to a lot of people. It's probably just to a handful of people, close people. Maybe they're your parents, maybe they're your husband, maybe they're your spouse, maybe there's someone close to you. And this is the person that you feel safe enough to tell your feelings to and unload your feelings to and talk about them. So the next time you feel the need to do that, first acknowledge it. Like, I'm trying not to talk about my symptoms, but I feel the need to talk about my symptoms. So just let that sink in. Okay. So instead of now saying, oh, my head, oh, this, oh, that, oh, I'm exhausted, oh, whatever it is, your major symptom, I'm excruciating pain, my nerves are on fire, whatever it is that you feel you need to say, complain, cry about, yell about, scream about, instead of doing that, I would like you to talk about your feelings. And usually it's the need for the need to talk about them. So I'm going to give you an example. So if I need to feel like I need to tell my husband, my symptoms are raging today, instead of doing that, I'm going to look at him and I'm going to say, I want you to appreciate me, or I feel like I need a hug. I feel like I need some support. So the reason that you're saying your symptoms is often because you feel that you don't want to suffer in silence. You don't want to suffer alone. You want to be acknowledged for the hard work that you're putting in to suffer through this for maybe that person or somebody else. And you want to be acknowledged and appreciated and loved. Maybe you need an excuse to get out of doing something because it's just too hard right now. Maybe you need to be loved or cared for or just held. Maybe you need to be encouraged. Maybe you just need, encouragement and somebody to hold you and say, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. I see how hard you're working. I see you and I acknowledge you and I'm proud of you and you're doing a great job. Most of us just want to be told that we're loved, that we're cared for, that we are seen, that we're acknowledged, that the reason we're doing this matters, that we matter to somebody, that we are loved, that if we need a break, we can take one, that if we need a hug, we can get one, that if we need to stop and cry, we're allowed to. We don't need to cry just because we have symptoms. We can simply just feel sad about how our life is going because of all of this, what it's robbed us of in our life, and just cry, not because our head hurts, but because of everything that our head hurting has taken from us. Of, the lack of friends and the lack of life and the lack of joy and the lack of traveling. And it's okay to feel angry about something. You don't need to say, oh my God, my symptoms and I can't take this, or I'm so frustrated. You can just feel angry that, you're doing something wrong, or you're doing something to frustrate me, or you're not listening to me, or you're not helping me enough. Or so what I want you to do next time you feel the need to talk about your symptoms, I want you to acknowledge that what you're really asking for is permission to be seen, acknowledged, loved, felt, to cry, to be angry, to take a break, to be comforted, to be encouraged. And this is what we're looking for. And instead of actually asking for what we need or want, or just giving it to ourselves or taking it for ourselves, we use our symptoms as a way to say what we're not really saying and to get what we're just not getting. So yeah, so this is big, I think. And it's not that I want you to suffer in silence and never talk about your symptoms. I want you to talk about the feelings behind your symptoms, the sadness and the anger and the hopelessness and the despair and the way that you feel just broken for, for these things going on in your life. And you want support, you want acknowledgement, you want love, you want to know you matter, you want to know it's going to get better, you want to know you're doing it for a reason, you want to know all these things, and that's okay. That's okay. And you can journal about it instead of talking about your feelings, or you can just simply say to that loved one, can I have a hug? Can you tell me I matter? Can you tell me this is going to be over? Can you just listen to how sad I am and how sad this illness has made me and everything I feel like I've lost because of it? Can you just hear me for a while, vent about everything? And that's really what you need. Sometimes you just need to vent, and sometimes these symptoms are screaming because, not because you need to just say, oh, I have a headache, this damn headache, and tell somebody about it, but you want to tell somebody about deeper things. You just want to be a little kid who wants to be held and taken care of, and that's okay. And so the next time you do feel the need to talk about your symptoms, talk about the deeper emotions behind your symptoms. Talk about everything else, and things will get better.